One of the great things about farming in California is that it seems like almost anything can grow here. And just when you think you've seen everything, a farm like this comes around. Welcome to Rivenrock Gardens just outside of Nipomo. Farmer John Dicus came up with the idea, and the rest, as they say, is history.
It's really healthy. It's an environmentally friendly type plant. It doesn't require quite as much water, nutrients as another plant would for the same amount of food value that you get from it. It's a healthy plant. We eat it for ourselves just for the health that it gives. So it seemed to be a natural plant to share.
Though they may look the same to us, there are actually about 400 varieties of cacti. And while not all are edible, John does grow an edible variety called Napalus grande. During peak season, he is shipping upwards of 3,000 pounds of the plant at a time. And while some go to pet food stores for tortoises to enjoy, most of the plants here are used for human consumption, so John has a grading system he uses when harvesting.
We have several different grades depending on what the consumer wants. This is grade A, tender, beautiful, exquisite baby vegetable cactus, shipped with ultimate care in packing. This would be grade B, also for the gourmand, but a little larger, not as much packing material in there to protect it. This is a good grade C. Very good for the ultimate consumer, easy to prepare and clean. You've got a lot of food value per leaf.
Grown on hillsides with plenty of sun and well-drained soil, the plants love to grow close together, and from planting to harvest it can take months, even years, to get full growth out of the plants. As you might expect with the prickly plants, harvest is a unique one, involving two key ingredients for success: a sharp knife and some heavy-duty gloves. And from grading to harvesting to packing, John does it all here, so he doesn't mind a little help every once in a while. So, what does it take to harvest cactus? What are we looking for here?
Well, I like them to be about the size of your hand, maybe a little bit larger, as long as they're not over mature and pithy inside. These are all nice and fresh and young.
I mean, that looks small though. Too small?
They're a little small.
Okay.
This is good for grade B, perhaps.
Oh, that's a big one. Wow.
That's a beautiful grade C.
Grade C, huh?
Yes, because it's so large.
Oh.
But it's in great condition. That will actually make a perfect cactus salsa for us.
Like what you're thinking. John's main business comes from shipping across the country to customers who consider cacti an exotic delicacy of sorts. But while they may seem exotic to us, they remain very popular south of the border. In Mexico, cacti are a $150 million business, which is why Chef Arnulfo Hernandez has incorporated them into his authentic Mexican cuisine at Reposado in Palo Alto. Having grown up in Mexico, he relied on his mother's cacti recipes to highlight the unique veggie with an even more unique taste.
Tangy, earthy, and pleasant flavor. But you gotta get used to it. To the texture more than anything. The texture is what is the most challenging thing in the cactus. But if you execute it like the way I do it, you will not have a problem. If you can, salt it prior to order, because if you add salt to it, it releases all the stuff that it's inside of the flesh, that's the liquid, and you don't want that. So just prior to serve, season it with salt. The best way to play with this is just, let them boil for a few minutes. Once they get dark, they're pretty much ready, and then you have to pretty much cool them off before you roast them or grill them.
With a soft but crunchy texture that also becomes a bit sticky when cooked, kind of like okra, edible cactus tastes similar to a slightly tart green bean or even green pepper. Chef Hernandez recommends grilling them so the leaves stay crisp and not soggy, and he uses them in a variety of ways. From a salad to a sauce to a cacti sorbet, which along with a shot of tequila is actually used as an after-dinner palate cleanser in the cuisine. Who knew? But if you want to try your luck at home with Cactus and want a super easy, super simple recipe, look no farther than Farmer John's salsa recipe. And so this looks good, but the secret ingredient is?
Cactus.
Okay, let's put that in then.
Whole batch.
So that just kind of adds a little texture to it, huh?
And also the mucilage in the cactus will help bind everything together. A couple hours in the refrigerator blends all the flavors.
Oh, nice.
And it's very healthy.
Oh, I was going to take a chip.
Dip
Okay.
on it.
Enjoy it with me, right? A little cactus. That's good. Mm-hmm. That's the way to end the day. Yeah, that's good. For California Country, I'm Tracy Sellers.